Hello, Squid Game is a thrilling series. It's well acted, well produced, and its plot gives you a lot to think about. There is an overarching theory that puts the whole series in perspective. The show presents a group of people who enter a competition where they have to play games to avoid being killed and to eventually win a large sum of money. In psychology, there's a theory called Situationism, which originated in the 1960s. Situationism is the claim that behavior is not determined by a person's character traits. It is determined by situations. What makes people behave a certain way is the situation they're in. In the show, all the participants make immoral choices. Even Gi-Hun, the victor, commits an act of evil when he tricks the old man Il-nam and pushes him towards being killed. According to Situationism, Gi-Hun did not sacrifice the life of an old man because Gi-Hun's personality is innately evil or because he has gone through some bad life experiences that made him make the choice he made. No, it is the situation he was in that made Gi-Hun behave the way he behaved. This would also explain why Il-nam, who would turn out to be the evil mastermind behind the whole idea and organisation of the game, chose to save Gi-Hun's life. It is not that Il-nam magically becomes good, it is that the situation he was in forced him to play along, and to act as if he wasn't aware that Gi-Hun was deceiving him. Situationism is an interesting theory. It does not say that there are no character traits, it just says that the influence of one's traits of character and behaviour is minimal, and that what predominantly influences behaviour is the situation itself. The theory is defended through some famous experiments. For example, there's Zimbardo's Stanford prison experiment. The goal of the experiment was to show that prison guards' mistreatment of prisoners was not because the guards are evil sadists. It is the situation itself that forces the guards to be cruel. The experiment took place in the basement of the university. 24 volunteers participated in the experiment. 10 played the roles of prisoners, 11 acted as guards, 2 were kept as reserves, and 1 participant changed his mind and left. The participants who assumed the roles of prisoners were treated exactly like prisoners. They were arrested from their homes, they were handcuffed, stripped of their clothes and given prison uniforms with numbers on them. And from that time on, they would be called by the numbers instead of the names. They were taken to prison, the university's basement, which was arranged like a prison. The guards too were given uniforms and sunglasses that they were asked not to remove in the presence of the prisoners in order to block eye contact with the prisoners. The directives given to the guards were simple. They had to preserve discipline and order in the prison, but physical violence was prohibited, of course. And in a matter of hours, the guards started behaving in ways that would cause discomfort to the prisoners. They woke them up in the middle of the night to count them. They used whistles to wake them up. The count was used to know how many prisoners there were and also to establish the guards' authority over the prisoners. And without being asked to, the prisoners too started to behave in similar ways to how prisoners behave in real life. Some of them began to toady to the guards and to report on prisoners who violated certain rules. The guards punished prisoners by ordering them to do push-ups. One guard stood on the back of a prisoner while he was doing push-ups. Other guards had prisoners stand on each other's backs while they were doing the push-ups to increase the pain. The following day, the prisoners revolted against the guards by tearing off the numbers on their uniforms and barricading themselves inside their cells. They blocked the doors with their beds and they refused to comply with orders. The guards quelled the rebellion by using fire extinguishers. They broke into the cells, they forced the prisoners to take their clothes off, and they took away their beds. The guards further punished the instigators by putting them in isolation. After that incident, the guards began mistreating the prisoners. The guards accommodated a special cell for 3 prisoners who did not partake in the rebellion. They were given back their clothes and they were given good food, which they ate in the presence of the other prisoners who were denied food as punishment. This encouraged more prisoners to show more submission to the guards to benefit from the good treatment, and it also encouraged the guards to be crueler. One prisoner completely lost it. He started screaming hysterically. Zimbardo and his team had to take him out of the experiment. Zimbardo concluded that individuals behaved according to what the situation calls for. Deindividuation is when a person no longer considers herself a single individuated person. It can be produced by wearing uniforms or being assigned numbers instead of names, or being part of a crowd. In Squid Game, both the players and the guards are given uniforms and are assigned numbers or symbols for the guards to assure their complete compliance. Situationism reignites a debate about whether human nature is good or evil. One of the implications of situationism is that your friends, your neighbours, your co-workers and all your acquaintances who hold the door for you, who greet you with smiles, will not hesitate to kill you if they're in a situation where killing you is acceptable and is expected. Michael Yuma, a professor of philosophy, gives the example of World War II and the Holocaust. He says that Hitler couldn't have perpetrated all those heinous crimes alone. A large number of people killed and tortured other people. Hitler did not handpick only sadists to carry out his orders, and Germans are not particularly known for being more evil than any other people. It goes to show that, given a particular situation, most people would participate in a genocide. Personal traits do not play any significant role, and neither does upbringing, because Nazis joined the party as adults. This casts away the idea that Nazism was inculcated to them at early ages. Hume claims that not only are most people very likely to participate in a genocide if the general situation was favourable to the perpetration of a genocide, but that people are presently participating in one. It has now been proven that animals manifest some intelligence and that they feel pain. Yet, humans continue to kill them and to eat them, because the overall situation we live in accepts and doesn't stigmatize killing and eating animals. Squid Game craftily plays with situationism. You can argue that yes, Gi-Hun cheated Il-nam and sent him to death, but at the end Gi-Hun refused to kill his friend, so you can argue that it is his character traits that made him spare his friend's life. However, according to the theory of character traits, their traits must be consistent. People must always act according to their character traits if traits were what determined behaviour. There is talk of a second season of Squid Game, and we'll surely be waiting for that. If you like Squid Game, you might also want to check a great anime called Kaiji. During my entire viewing of Squid Game, I kept thinking that it was inspired by Kaiji. There are 2 seasons and the series is absolutely phenomenal. Now this video has reached its end. Until we meet again, have a great day.